I know y'all didn't think that Black Friday was gonna come and that I wasn't gonna buy no books. I know that ain't what you thought, baby. I know that ain't what you thought, should. Hi friends, welcome back to Shelby in the Book Club. I am Shelby Monet, and in today's video we are going to do a little book haul. It is the last book haul of 2024. Can you believe that it is the end of the year? I personally can't believe it. I don't know where the time went, but we are here. Everything will be listed down below in the where, the underneath a bar. I call it the underneath a bar because it is underneath the video. Okay, and yeah, before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe, share. I'm trying to get to 15K before the end of the year. I think we could do it. Without further ado, let's get into it for real this time. Okay, this first one, I feel like y'all gonna be like, what, girl? But you know I read everything. You know I read everything. I literally read everything. Y'all know I read everything. I got Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. Now, there is a bookstore that I frequent here in New Jersey called Watch Young Booksellers, and one of the employees there, her name is Asia. I absolutely love her. She recommended this to me, and she said that she can understand why people rave about it. She also can understand why some people hate it, which was intriguing to me. She also said that I should go into this understanding that Sally Rooney purposely writes characters that people will not write. I probably will be doing a review for this because this is my first Sally Rooney book. I see people talk about Sally Rooney all the time, and I'm actually going into this because I am intrigued by it and not because I'm trying to debunk people's perspectives. So if I read it and finish it, I will go into it. I know that it's about, if I read it and finish it, if I don't DNF it, is what I'm trying to say, I will do a book review for it. I want to start adding a video during the week, like another video. So like my regular Friday video, a weekly vlog, and I think I want to start adding in a book review maybe once or twice a month. I'll see. I read enough that I could do it. We'll see what happens. So this says, aside from the fact that they are brothers, Peter and Ivan Kubik seem to have little in common. Peter is a Dublin lawyer in his 30s, successful, competent, and apparently unassailable. But in the wake of their father's death, he's medicating himself to sleep, struggling to manage his relationships, and with two very different women, his enduring first love, Sylvia, and Naomi, a college student for whom life is one long joke. Ivan is a 22-year-old competitive chess player. He has always seen himself as socially awkward, a loner, and the antithesis of his glib elder brother. Now, in the early weeks of his bereavement, Ivan meets Margaret, an older woman emerging from her own turbulent past, and their lives become rapidly and intensely intertwined. For two grieving brothers and the people they love, this is a new interlude, a period of desire, despair, and possibility, a chance to find out how much one life might hold inside itself without breaking. That sounds very interesting to me. I'll see what happens. I know some of y'all gonna be in the comments like, Shelby, how we get there? Next, we have Untethered. This is by Angela Jackson Brown. I read her book Homeward. You guys may remember me reading it earlier this year because I feel like I read it around the time I read When Crack Was King. I feel like I was like recording a little bit when that was happening. So this, it says, in a small college town of Troy, Alabama, amidst the backdrop of the civil rights movement in 1967, Katia Daniels lives A life steeped in responsibility. As the director of the Pike County Group Home for Negro Boys, she pours her heart into nurturing the young lives under her care, harboring a longing for children of her own. In her own home, the weight of her family's history bears down on her when she and her mother learn that one of her two brothers is missing in action in the heart of the Vietnam War. Having lost her father to cancer years ago, Katia took up the mantle of caretaker, ensuring her mother and her brothers were looked after, creating a web of obligations that stretches her emotional bandwidth thin. With the group home's board creating obstacles at every turn and putting her job at risk, Katia finds solace in the pages of romance novels and the soothing melodies of Nina Simone. When Seth Taylor, a familiar face from her high school days, re-enters Katia's life, he brings with him a breeze of nostalgia and a reminder of a time when she felt free to dream. As their friendship rekindles, Katia grapples with the ideas of making choices for herself, even as a realization that she can no longer have children weighs heavily on her. I'm super excited. When I read Homeward, I felt like I didn't like it at first, but it was stocked with all of these really, really good gems that, like, you just kind of had to stick with the story. It felt a little bit like a slow burn to me, and in the end I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to pick up Untethered. Next, Kingdom of No Tomorrow. This is by, I want to say her name is Fabian Josephat. I might be butchering that. If I am, I'm very, very sorry. I am super excited to read this. You guys will definitely be getting a book review for this, and I also plan to read this while I listen to the audiobook. Thank you to Libro FM's what am I trying to say? Thank you to Libro FM for giving me an advanced copy of the ARC. I haven't listened to it yet, but I wanted to read and listen to it together. We're calling that immersive reading now. I did it with another book recently and really enjoyed it. I think it'll be good for this as well. This tells the story of a woman raised in Haiti that joins the Black Panthers free health clinics in Oakland in 1968. She quickly becomes devoted to the cause and its dedication to helping people in a radically divided America, and gets swept up in an all-consuming love affair with Black Panther Party Defense Captain Melvin Mosley. She must figure out what is left for her within the movement, what she stands for, and who truly loves her. I'm really, really interested in this because I know it's going to tackle a lot about feminism, right? I think often we assume that when we say Black Lives Matter, or when we say any fight, that automatically includes Black women. But what actually happens is Black women get to do the brunt of the work, and we still get ignored, abused, talked down to, and left out a lot of rooms, conversations, and so on and so forth. So I'm really, really excited about that. Next, we got some Cover Snob mail. I'm super excited to show you guys this. So you guys know I am an affiliate with Cover Snob. I absolutely love this company. It is a romance subscription box that caters to Black and brown and persons of color authors in the romance genre. So this month we have I'll Be Gone for Christmas by Georgia K. Boone, and look at those edges. Every book that you get from Cover Snob has sprayed edges. There are multiple options. You can do the bi-monthly subscription. You can just get the book if you want to. But this one, which by the time you guys see this, you may still have time to order it for yourself for the holidays or order it as a gift for the holidays, does come with some extras. So there's a really cool bookmark. One side says nice, the other side says naughty. I think that is super, super cool. They always come with a signature plate. I like to stick mine in the front of my books. You can do with yours as you may. Again, sprayed edges, super cute. That Christmas tree is gorgeous. And then for the holidays, you get an option to get a candle. So this is a Cover Snob and Speakeasy Candle Co. collaboration. It is called Cozy. This is a super cute size for candles. I love this size because you can totally travel with them. Just throw them in your bag or your travel bag. I like to take candles with me sometimes when I travel just to make it feel more like home, especially for us neurospicy people, as I like to call it. Sometimes you just need something that smells familiar. This scent says barrel-aged rum, butterscotch, toasted oak, and orange zest. It smells like Christmas, but that hint of orange in it is phenomenal. Like, it's so good. It's so good. You guys definitely should order this. I will put on the screen my discount code, which is Shelby Monet, but it should be around the screen somewhere. So for this one, it says, B. Tyler needs a break. In the bustling San Francisco tech company, no one ever seems to stand still, especially her perfect sister and business partner Beth. So when her best friend suggests a getaway on the wildly popular House Swap app, Vacate, B decides a countryside retreat might be exactly what she needs. Clover Mills has had a year between losing her mother and making the complicated decision to leave her fiance. Sticking around the idyllic Christmas-obsessed town of Salem, Ohio just doesn't feel right. So when she hears about Vacate, she jumps at the chance to spend the holidays in the unfamiliar city of San Francisco. Soon enough, B is living in Clover's cozy Salem college, and Clover living in B's sleek San Francisco apartment, as Clover can't seem to stop running into B's frustratingly gorgeous sister, and B finds herself spending more and more time with Clover's ultra charming ex-fiance Knox. The two women realize that this Christmas they may find just what they were looking for and more. I think it's gonna be super cute. Y'all should get this. What's next? Yonder by Jabari Asim. I have a hard copy of this. I read this a few years ago. I've actually been wanting to reread it. I really enjoyed this book. I got this copy so that I can annotate it. I opened my original copy and the annotations were super ugly. I might not annotate this one. I might just read it. We'll see how I'm feeling. But it says they call themselves the Stolen. Their owners call them captives. They are taught their captors' tongues and their beliefs, but they have a language and ritual of their own. Cato and William meet at Placid Hall, a plantation in an unspecified part of the American South. Subject to the whims of their tyrannical and eccentric captor, they never know what harm may befall them. Inhumane physical toil in the plantation's quarry by day, a beating by night, or a sale of a loved one at any moment. It's that cruel practice, the wanton destruction of love, the belief that Black people aren't even capable of loving, that hurts the most. It hurts the reserved and stubborn William, who finds himself falling for Margaret, a small but mighty woman with self-possession beyond her years. And it hurts Cato, whose first love, Iris, was sold off with no forewarning. He now finds solace in his hearty band of friends, and in Pandora with her thick braids and long limbs, whose beauty calls to him. But their relationship begins to fray when a visiting minister with a mysterious past starts to fill their heads with ideas of independence. Do they follow the preacher and pursue the unknown? This is a phenomenal book. If you like historical fiction, you'll absolutely love it. Like, I loved it the first time, and it's just been on my mind recently. It was just one of those things. Next, I got the Cheneysville Incident. It says the 40th edition, and this is by David Bradley, another Black author I had not heard of before. So this says, a detective novel of the mind. The Cheneysville Incident is David Bradley's acclaimed award-winning exploration of history, family, race, and identity that lays bare the powerful hold the past exerts on individual lives. Black historian and professor John Washington has been summoned to his hometown just north of the Mason-Dixon line, reluctantly leaving his white lover, Judith, a psychiatrist in Philadelphia. He travels to the small western Pennsylvania town for old Jack Crawley, a friend of his late father, Moses Washington. Old Jack helped raise John, and now he is dying. Seeing old Jack, John is drawn back to his childhood, to the mystery of Moses and his death. He returns to his journals Moses left behind, and his detailed notes about the history of 13 escaped slaves who reach freedom in Cheneysville only to die there. Joined by Judith, John begins to connect his own family's history with that of the 13 escaped slaves. With her crucial insights, he realizes a truth that is both tragic and transformative. Ooh, it's a thick one too. It's almost 500 pages. I've never heard of this book. I'm like, I might have to push this up on my list. Or this might be a January book. Like, I'll read this at the top of January. When was this? I gotta see when it was published. I'm super excited to read that one. Have y'all noticed that I'm like getting back into my historical fiction bag? Like, I've been craving it lately. Put these in my lap. So next up we have Last Summer on State Street by Toya Wolf. This is something that I put on in one of my videos. I think this came out this year, I want to say, and it was on my list for anticipated releases, either for this year or last year. I don't remember, but it was on one of them. Is there a... Okay, maybe 2022. Yeah, okay, so it was on the list. I know that much. It's the summer of 1999, and Felicia Fifi Stevens is living with her mother, an older teenage brother, in building 4950 of Chicago's Robert Taylor Homes. The next high-rise is to be torn down by the Chicago Housing Authority. She, along with the devout Precious Brown and Stasia Buchanan, daughter of a gangster disciples, Queen Pen, form a tentative trio. But when Fifi welcomes a mysterious new friend, Tanya, into their folds, the dynamic shift, upending the lives of all four girls. Oh, I knew I wanted to read it before, and it's less than 250 pages. I might have to push the stuff on my list. I might have to push it up on my list. That I don't remember that being the synopsis, but that sounds good. Okay, this next one is one of my favorite books. I didn't have a paperback copy of it. I wanted it. I have multiple of the hard copy of this one. I'm gonna read it again probably next year. I'm actually thinking about making it a book club pick because it's just that good and it should be spoken about. This is Call Baby by Morgan Jenkins. Phenomenal read. It is about a woman that desperately wants to become a mother, and to protect the child that she is carrying, she goes to a family that practices a certain sort of witchcraft. That's all I'm gonna tell you. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I loved Call Baby. I've read it multiple times. It really is on that list of books that is a super favorite for me. Morgan's writing style, phenomenal. Chef's kiss, no notes. Okay, like, great. Next, and then the last three are all by the same author, so we'll talk about them together. Next, I have The Last Dreamwalker. This is by Rita Woods. Rita Woods has a book called, is it written in here? Ooh, this got a map in it, baby. You know what that means when it's a map. She has a book called Remembrance that I read that I really enjoyed. Remembrance is about, I don't even really know how to describe it. It's a town of Black people that were slaves at one point in time, but the town is like invisible. You can't see it. There's magic protecting it. It's a really cool book. This one says, in the wake of her mother's passing, Layla Hurley unexpectedly reconnects with her mother's sisters, women she hasn't been allowed to speak to or of in years. Her aunts reveal to Layla that a Gullah Geechee island off the shore of South Carolina now belongs to her. As Layla digs deeper into her mother's past and the mysterious island's history, She discovers the terrifying nightmares that have plagued her throughout her life and tainted her relationship with her mother and all of her family are actually a power passed down through generations of her Gullah ancestors. She is a dream walker. Able to inhabit the dreams of others and to manipulate them. As Layla uncovers increasingly dark secrets about her family's past, she finds herself thrust into the center of a potentially deadly, decades-old feud fought in the dark corridors of dreams. You know, January might be a really good reading month. It might be. I might get one or two of these in before the new year, because it's making me excited. I've been in the bit of a reading funk because I did not plan my January out very well. My December out very well when it comes to my reading, and I caused myself to be very, very busy, but I'm a little excited. So this next author, I think his name is pronounced Paul Beatty. He is a Black author that I also have never heard of. This is beautiful. I just really like the covers of these books. Never heard of them. They were all $5. So I got all three of them. I don't know if this is all that he has. But y'all know how I feel about Black authors, so no. Okay, I'm missing a few. So I have The Sellout, I have Tough, and I have Slumberland. The other fiction that he has is The White Boy Shuffle. He has a non-fiction called Hokum, an anthology of African American humor. And then he has some poetry. Y'all know I don't do poetry. So yeah. First up, we have The Sellout. This says, born in the agrarian ghetto of Dickens, the narrator of The Sellout spent his childhood as a subject of a racially charged psychological studies. Raised by a single father, a sociologist, he is told that his father's work will lead to a memoir that will solve their financial woes. But when his father is killed, he realizes there never was a memoir. Fueled by this deceit, the narrator initiates the most outrageous action. Why would y'all put a sticker right over? I know y'all lying to me. I know. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, all right. Outrageous action conceivable. Reinstating slavery. What? Which lands him in front of the Supreme Court. The work of comic genius Paul Beatty's The Sellout is a powerful novel of vital import and a wildly entertainment indictment of our time. Okay, next we have, does this one have a sticker? No. Next we have Tough. I really like these covers. This one says, Winston Tuffy Fauché, age 19, is an East Harlem denizen who breaks jaws and shoots dogs and dreams of earning millions from his idea for Captain Crunch, the movie. Baby! Starring Danny DeVito. His best friend is a disabled Muslim who wants to rob banks. His guiding light is an ex-hippie who worked for Malcolm X, and he married his wife Yolanda over the phone from jail. Baby! We're gonna have to read one of these together next year, because what is happening? He's funny and fierce, frustrated and feared, and when Tough decides to run for city council, this dazzling novel goes from astoundingly funny to assertively sublime, by turns profound and irreverent. I could read. And populated with a hilarious supporting cast. Paul Beatty's Tough is satire at its razor sharp best. Okay, y'all tell me in the comments, should this be a book club pick? Let me know, should this be a book club pick? If you think it should be a book club pick, I'll leave it as a book club pick. I won't read it without y'all, but you gotta let me know in the comments because I'm like tempted to start this tonight. And then last but certainly not least, we have Slumberland. This one says, DJ Darky, an expat mixmaster with a phonographic memory, has made the perfect beat. All he needs is someone to play over it. But not just anyone. Excuse me, Charles Stone, aka Schwa, an experimental jazzman who happens to have disappeared without a trace. How you gonna find him, friend? DJ Darky's search for his artistic and spiritual other half will lead him through the streets of newly reunified Berlin, a deranged funhouse of race, sex, love, and history. Lucid, bombastic, and wildly funny, Paul Beatty's Slumberland is a proactive classic that hums with life. Y'all, these sound so good. I'm really glad that I got these. I'm really glad that I got them. And come on, them looking really good on the shelf together. So now I just have to find the other one, and then I'll have all four. The White Boy Shuffle. That makes me nervous. Just based off of what these other ones are about. That makes me so nervous. As I said before, everything will be linked down below in the underneath bar. It's called the underneath bar. Why? Because it's underneath the video. So if you would like any of these books and you would like to support me further, you can shop my Amazon storefront. Down below, leave me leave me your favorite emoji down below. Whatever it is, just leave it. Without further ado, if no one has told you today, I love you. You are kind, you are smart, you are important. If to no one else, to me. Bye, friends.